right, so hello everybody. My name's Amber. I'm the Executive Director at the Coatesville Area Public Library. We're also right down on Fifth Street. We're not even a block away from the OIC. We actually walk people up there for ESL classes all the time. So, all right. So just a little overview of what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to go over some of our project summary and our baseline goals, as well as talking about some of the challenges that we had. And then we'll go over our impact, specifically in our outreach, our preschool programs, and our summer reading programs. And then I'll talk a little bit about some of our works in progress that we're still working on. So the general project summary, our original proposal to the AHE for their Seed and Scale grant was focused on the importance of support for our summer reading programs, as well as outreach programs in our local schools and preschools, and for our Kids Zone. We sought support to enable us to extend our current programs and make a greater impact in the community. For summer reading support, we specifically wanted to support literacy initiatives in the school district. For school-age programs, we wanted to reinforce educational standards in literacy and STEM, as well as helping to prevent summer slide, which is a phenomenon that a lot of educators have noted, where students who don't have access to summer programs, like going to camp because of financial reasons, they oftentimes will have an educational slide where they lose some of that progress that they made throughout the school year. One of our goals is to help prevent that through our programming during the summer. Additionally, we have our summer story times. We do story times throughout the year, but our summer story times, specifically for our preschoolers, we try and focus on kindergarten readiness and closing the million-word gap, which I will talk a little bit more about the million-word gap a little later. But yeah, our main focus for that is getting kids ready to go to kindergarten. For our outreach proposal, we wanted to support Coatesville area school districts in literacy efforts, especially because as of last year, we did not have any in-house libraries in any of our elementary schools. All 5 of the elementary schools in Chester County Area School District did not have libraries that were active. As a parent in the community, that really upset me. But we have actually been advocating for that in the community, and thankfully the school district has recently decided to reopen the libraries. They are working on getting new librarians in there, so we're really proud of that achievement with them. We've also been trying to work on with our outreach, meeting the community where they are more, expanding our reach to events outside of our library building, because a lot of times people don't even realize that we're there. The number of people who come into our library and say, "We didn't even know you were here." So yeah, we're trying to get out more and get into the community. Additionally, we were trying to take our story times outside of our library building and to provide story times and educational assistance for local preschools and elementary schools. Some of the challenges we came across. The biggest challenge that we had this year was that on the 17th of last July, we had a flood. I'm sure you all remember that giant storm that took out power in Coatesville for like 3 days. Well, we got our power back after a day, but during the blackout, our generator that powers our sump pump failed, and our entire basement, which is where all of our program rooms are, and our Kids Zone flooded. We had 2 inches of water over 7,000 square feet, and it was not a pretty scene. You can see in the background, the image there is actually a bunch of the trash that had to be taken out. We had damaged floors, drywall, carpets. Our entire Kids Zone basically got destroyed. which was really heartbreaking for a lot of our kids. I can't tell you the number of kids that had like crying fits when they couldn't go down there anymore. But we are currently working on getting that back together. We've been starting the reconstruction process. It's slow but steady. Another challenge that we did have was with the Coatesville Area School District. We did struggle, especially in the beginning, to make connections, and I see that I forgot the R in struggle. We had some struggles. There were some new administrators, teachers retiring. Some of our past contacts retired, and so we had to try and establish new contacts. So, and it's a big school district, so it's always a struggle. We have thankfully been starting to finally get some regular contacts and some great interaction with the school district, but it wasn't what we had originally planned. But also, thankfully, because the school district is bringing in those libraries again, we don't feel like we need to be as involved with trying to do story times and initiatives regularly in the schools. We can do them more on like a one-off basis. So here's some of the impact that we've had, the statistics. I'm a librarian. I love data. We collect it wherever we can. However, in our line of work, we focus more on age group rather than ethnic demographics because it's a lot about privacy of our patrons. You can see in this bar graph, though, the breakdown of the demographics of each age group that we served. In our summer art program specifically, which is one of our proudest achievements this year, we were able to serve 466 children free breakfast and lunch. And then we had in summer reading program, we had 1,800 children, and we interacted with over 2,000 kids during our 80 outreach events this year. Going a little more in depth with our outreach, from digital literacy lessons at North Brandywine Middle School to kindergarten carnivals, children's music festivals, and trunk or treats. The library has been out in the community a whole lot this year. This was largely made possible by the Seed and Scale grant, which enabled us to hire a head of youth services and outreach. Her name is Erin. You can see her in the bottom picture there at one of our tables. You probably have seen, if you've gone to any event in Coatesville in the last 9 months, you've probably seen her sitting at our booth. She generally has very colorful hair, and the kids love her. Another big impact that we've had is bringing story times out into the community. In addition to our outreach in the Coatesville Area School District and at different community events, the addition of our head of youth services and outreach has enabled us to extend our preschool story time from inside our library out into local preschools, specifically through our bi-weekly story time at Rosebud's Little Explorers Daycare and several other local daycares. We've been able to extend our reach to 673 children. This supports our goal to help close the million-word gap for the children of the Coatesville area. The million-word gap refers to a study called When Children Are Not Read to at Home, The Million-Word Gap, by Logan, Justice, Umis, and Chaparro Moreno. It was written in 2019. In this study, they found that the number of books read to a child weekly between birth and the age of 5 resulted in a difference of over 1 million words. So children who are read multiple books a day by their parents or by anyone have over 1 million words, have been exposed to over 1 million words more than a child who has not been read to at all. It is, it's a big number. It's really, when you look at the graph, it is so crazy to see that big disparity of how much impact even just one book a week can make on children. So next up, our summer reading programs. Summer 2024 was a challenge. in many ways, but no challenge was so great as finding locations for our many summer programs after our flood. Many of our programs moved outside into our courtyard, which was a lot of fun, but also very dependent on the weather. One such program was our Bridgetown Art Club Summer Camp, which was run by our volunteer, Mr. Chinchilla Jones. You can see him there in the picture with a group of his art club students. Mr. Chinchilla's program offered breakfast and lunch to local kids daily, as well as artistic activities such as painting, comic book drawing, and various crafts. We were able to help fund this program through using the AHE Seed and Scale grant money to purchase art supplies. And again, 466 kids received 2 meals a day throughout the summer thanks to this program. Some of our works in progress. We still have goals. We're only halfway through the program, right? So partnerships with Coatesville area schools. Since the Coatesville area school district has decided to bring libraries back into all 5 of their elementary schools, which we've been advocating for, it means that there's less need for our library to supplement the school district. However, we are still working to build stronger connections and to create an outreach program with the school district where we can support the school's literacy and digital literacy goals. We've been trying to find ways to get into the schools to help them with those specific. We've been doing a lot of literacy nights with a lot of the elementary schools and a lot of the Title I nights as well. Rebuilding the Kid Zone. After the flood, our patrons, especially the young ones, were devastated to hear the news about what happened to our Kid Zone. As I said, we've taken many toddlers and preschoolers downstairs because they absolutely would not believe that it had been closed. They were like, no, it has to be down there. We know it used to be down there. And we had to take them down to a very empty, sad room to show them that no, it's not there. With the construction finally underway, we are hoping to get the Kid Zone rebuilt and making it even better than before. Our current youth services staff are making plans to add more stations to our Kid Zone, to add more dynamic play areas. We've also reallocated some of the spaces that we had downstairs, some of the areas that were just storage closets, and we tore down some walls and rebuilt some walls to create a new teen room, which will be a great space for our teen patrons and our teenagers in the community to have a safe place where they don't have to feel like they're being judged and they can kind of have a space that's all their own. Additionally, our outreach collection, as we continue to expand our preschool storytime outreach program, we're researching the right traveling library hardware to bring more of the library to our daycares. We'll be creating a collection dedicated for outreach, which is mobile, so children in our preschools can get their first taste of borrowing books from the library. That's all for me. I wanted to say thanks again to the AHE for their support of our mission, and I also wanted to offer to all of our nonprofit brothers and sisters that we are always welcome to partner. We love partnering with other nonprofits in the area. And once we get our program rooms reopened in hopefully about a month, we will have very large spaces. As I said, we have like 7,000 square feet of space downstairs to use as program spaces. So if you need to host something, we can absolutely be there to host it. So thank you. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay.